Welcome back. With around 85 million Filipino internet users in 2023, it becomes imperative for the business sector to roll out effective digital marketing campaigns. At the forefront of this transformation is the Digital Marketing Association of the Philippines, as it released a report on the latest industry trends.
DMAP's President Manny Gonzales joins us tonight to talk about the report's key takeaways and the future of the digital marketing industry. Manny, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Good evening. Thank you so much for having us as well. Thank you so much.
So I hear that there is this thing called digital young creators.
Yes.
We're not part of it because of the young part. What is
Not
this?
even a creative myself.
What is this? Tell us about this.
I think I'll go back to when we were starting to plan for this year, programs for this year for DMAP. And three of the things that we found out that was in demand in terms of what are leaders looking for, what are companies looking for, was number one, growth. Second is upskilling of the workforce. And the third one is purposive use of technology. So when we were actually now going through what do we do for 2024, it would be those three things that we were focusing on. Now, the first one that you mentioned, the digital young creators, is actually going towards upskilling, training, and also celebrating our young digital Filipino creatives and creators when it comes to the digital industry. So what we do for that program is we actually invite them to competition. It usually happens at the end of the year. Then from there, the winners we actually bring to international competitions.
Wow.
So that would be the reward for winning the competition. So what's interesting for the latest edition of DYC was that it was not just advertising agencies and marketers. You have your freelancers, you have your graphic artists now joining. So a very, very exciting and interesting event, one of the many events that we have.
What happens in those competitions? I mean, how do they compete? They come up with their own campaigns, and it is judged by industry experts.
Correct. So it's actually a call for contestants or for competitors. So usually we would tell them to have a tandem. No? So usually it's a copywriter and a tech person or a creative person. And then on one specific date, they will be briefed on this is the challenge that we are facing right now. What is your solution? You're given 24 hours to come up with a campaign. And then
24 hours.
24 hours. So a lot
Just
of
the plan for
just
the
the plan
campaign,
and the
not
creative.
yet the
It's
creative
also the creative as well.
for hours.
Yes, and then from there.
So it's like a real case
Yes.
scenario, real life
Yes,
scenario.
yes, yes. And then
With the
from there-
deadline being given.
And it's very interesting how they would actually be bonding with each other and really racking their brains out to
They
how
know. They don't know the person they'll be working with.
they know
They know,
already.
they know.
And then I think one of the exciting parts for them, or the more tension-filled parts, would be the judging the day after, wherein they will be faced with the industry experts, right? In digital, does this cut the objective? Will you be able to do that? Is this creative enough? And then we determine the
Will there be some sort of defense? Will they be?
Yes.
be-
Usually the first round of your deliberations would be in-out, so that's not face-to-face, and then the shortlist would be the ones wherein you will be interviewed now by the experts.
How many joined?
Wow. For last year, I think there were around 80 to 100 pairs. So that's a lot of contestants, all doing all-nighters, and then being confronted, not confronted, but questioned and interrogated by the judges.
Wait. I have one more question. How young is young?
Wow. So how young is young? We actually have that cutoff for below 30. So that's a below 30 for the young creators. Below 30, especially if they win, and we send them to another an equivalent young competition abroad, they should also be within that age limit during that time.
Okay, so this happened last year, but I do want to ask you about this themes here, which is transformative innovation and impactful growth.
Correct.
That's could be one of the challenges also for
Yes.
those young creators. But what exactly is transformative innovation that DMAP is aspiring for? Will you be able to give us an example?
Yes, I think For the longest time, whenever we look into trends and what's new in the digital and technology side of things, it always tends to go towards what's shiny, what's new. But again, coming from that research that we did, the leaders, the companies are looking for how will it grow my business. So it's
How big an impact?
how big an impact it would actually do. So, for example, one of our biggest events during the year, the DigiCon, DMAP DigiCon, we invite different speakers from all over the world to actually share their knowledge in digital marketing. Now, what we're doing different this year, this coming October, is that it will not just be your lecture types. So we will give all the participants a chance now to have hands-on workshops to actually tinker with technology or play around with any topic that we'll be putting forward. So it's not just a conference, but you'll be a student during that time.
How interesting are these tools you're talking about? Are there
Well-
going to be robots who will talk to me about what prompt can I use on ChatGPT
Yeah.
to...
AI would be one of them. We're looking at personalization. Social media will be there, definitely, and how we use it today. And still, the topics are yet to be finalized. Okay, we're still awaiting some of the confirmations of some of the speakers for this year.
But you mentioned a certain research, and that must be the boomerang into the future.
Yes.
What are the main findings of these
Okay,
research?
so just to give a quick background, Boomerang, we call it the Boomerang Awards. It's our internal awards show for companies, brands who do creative digital work. Now, what we did in the past was just to award those who had those very interesting work. But right now, what we're doing is, and this was the idea of the board, the board. What if we collect all the learnings from the best practices, the award-winning work, and turn it into a report that we will give access. Has access to that one. So we call it Boomerang, the future report, coming from the Boomerang Awards. So all the tips, the trends, the forecasts on what will happen in different platforms are actually part of that report. So that report, you can easily access that in, and that's the website, booms.dmap.com.ph. So again, that's booms.dmap.com.ph. So it's free. We don't require you to pay for it. And also in that website, you will see a lot of the videos, the interviews from the people who made the work themselves. So it's like case studies on a lot of case studies that you can learn from, not only in marketing but also in business strategy.
Does it also talk about the challenges you faced in
Yes.
recent years and forecasting possible challenges in the future?
Correct. In fact, one of the topics that are discussed in the short videos of Boomerang, the Future Report, is actually from here. How do we gauge the Filipino creativity when it comes to digital? How do we gauge our a bit of the ethics in using technology? AI is also one of the hot topics in that report, and there was a discussion: will it actually replace the creatives, the human person, in creating work that matters?
It's actually almost happening right now from what we've
Yes.
seen, how it has evolved. And we were just talking about it the other day from text to
Yes.
video,
Correct.
Yes.
how nice it looks.
Mhm.
When you're talking to people in the industry, how are they viewing this? Are they scared as well?
There are people who are actually scared of it, but you'll be surprised. There are already groups, companies, brands who are actually using it. So the way they use it, and I think that's the best way to use it, is not to replace the conceptual level, the imagination, the human part of what we do, but you just use it for some. I don't want to call it a mundane task, no, but some tasks like please sort this or please arrange this. But for us, we're also very cognizant that if you're in the creative business and then you submit a work that is not actually coming from you,
Yeah.
there's that question. So yes, we use it, but we limit the use of it in terms of output integrity.
Give us a sense of what the study is saying. What's the headline there when it comes to measuring creativity. I mean, if you can look at the Filipino memes, I would say Filipinos are very creative. They have a lot of time. But, and my question would be, what are the metrics that you use to measure that? And what is this data for eventually? And the second is ethics, because that's always a huge discussion. But nobody seems to be able to say, okay, the marketing arms of all of these multinationals or all of these big or whatever, the membership of DMAP, for example, are you using all of these tools ethically? Is social media being used for the benefit of the world or just for profit? I suppose that's part of the discussion.
I think I'll start with your
I know,
last
that's
question.
a lot of questions.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
The last one is, are we using it in the right way? Of course. And that's why we actually have DMAP. The membership is a big collective of companies, brands, local and multinational. We have the academe with us. We have startups. We have individuals who actually volunteer to be part of it, just to make sure that we, in a way, self-regulate what we.
Can you kick out someone who's using it the wrong way?
Yes, because we have our bylaws and principles. So and we can actually make a stand. For example, if I hope it doesn't come to that point. No, that,
we'll watch it in the news. Who gets kicked out now? We know.
If it happens that there is misuse of technology, you'll be you can count on us. We'll be at the forefront of saying, hey, you know what, this is not good. We do not condone this activity. Now, the learnings in the Boomerang report is very interesting. I don't know if this is good or bad news, because good news, we are not yet at that level of, let's say, alarming rate of unethical use of digital compared to the world, compared to the rest of the world, right? But we are behind in a lot of ways in terms of usage of technology. AI, we're just beginning, right? We're just beginning in AI. The rest of the world is actually starting to already maximize it. So the main finding is we're behind, but the good news is we're moving. And we are not stopping in saying that, oh, we will not adapt to this one.
What do you mean? I've been asking ChatGPT to give me jokes every morning.
Oh, you'll be surprised how complex other markets are using it.
My kids are just making fun of it. They're just asking all sorts of weird questions, finding out what
like
it
for
will
example,
say.
I would share with you from, and this was 4 years ago, or 5 years ago, in the US. They have their awards, right? The creative awards as well. 5 years ago, they awarded a work that actually replicated a Rembrandt painting. So that was 5 years ago.
Oh.
So there at that level, we are now just telling ChatGPT, can you share with me a joke?
Ouch! I feel attacked.
No,
I'm just teasing you. That's my role here. But Manny, what a great conversation. Hope you'll return and tell us about DigiCon eventually, and tell us about the new learnings from what you will see this year.
Yes, I think DigiCon will be very soon, and there will be another announcement on that. But for those who might be interested, if it's okay, we'd like to invite everyone to actually, if you're really interested to be part of DMAP, just visit dmap.com.ph and join us in this group.
Great. Thanks, Manny.
Thank you so much.
And that's your business outlook. I'm Ron.
And I'm Sabi Duplito. The World Tonight comes your way at the top of the next hour. Keep it here on ANC.